Hi everyone, herkese iyi akşamlar. Welcome back to Learn Turkish the Easy Way channel. Today is another day for one of our random live classes, and today I decided to cover the topic of complementary verb dır, which also has extensions dir, dur, dür, tır, tir, tur, tür, depending on the endings of the verbs or the words. So you probably may have known from other classes that in Turkish we have four types of complementary verbs: dı, ise, right, miş, and we also have this dır. So dı, di, du, dü, mış, miş, muş, müş, sa, se. These are the, or ise. Okay, that's the way kind of the general format of ise. There are the three ones, and this is the fourth one, complementary verb dır. Dir, dir, dur, dür, tır, tir, tur, tür. So how do we use it? We'll cover that. But before we start, just a reminder, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe and turn your notifications on. Also, kind of like this video if you really enjoy these classes. That really helps the channel. And last, if you want to get notifications about the further videos or discuss anything about Turkish language, you can join our Telegram channel, which is also in the description of this video. Okay, so let's now cover the topic. Start with the topic. It's kind of a very simple topic. It's not a very complex topic, but it has a very extensive use in Turkish language, and I decided to cover this video based on one of the comments by the subscribers that wanted to know the difference between, for example, saying Ali Doktor and Ali Doktordur. What is the difference here? There is a kind of a very slight difference, and that's basically what we'll cover today. Okay, so let's start with this topic. So why do we use this complementary verb dır and attach this to the nouns or noun-like structures, adjectives, verbs? Basically, there are two purposes. There are two broad purposes for using this complementary verb. The first one is to denote precision or certainty. Okay, to denote precision or certainty, which has historically, in Old Turkish, traditionally been used only for verb to be in the third person singular. Okay, it's not for all persons. It has been traditionally and historically used for only third person verb to be cases. Why do I say verb to be? Because in some descriptions they say noun-like or nouns or noun-like structures like pronouns or adjectives. But the verb to be is better because verb to be covers all of this. It can be adjective, it can be noun, it can be pronoun, okay, or anything that is formed from the noun. So basically, it is the third person verb to be in which we, or that case in which we use this complementary verb at the end of these words, okay, adjectives, nouns, pronouns, and so on. So, and it can be omitted, okay. That is the most important thing. In today's modern Turkish language, we don't usually use it. Okay, we don't, even in spoken language, in written language, we usually don't use that at the end of these words. Okay. So let's look at the examples. Let me just go down. Okay. Look at the four examples here. The first example, bu bir kalemdir. Okay, bu bir kalemdir, which is in use, okay, is very same. There is no difference between this one and the second one. Bu bir kalemdir is exactly the same, has exactly the same meaning. Bu bir, with the sentence bu bir kalem, which means basically this is a pen. Okay, what is the purpose here over this? I mean, using this dir. It's basically certainty, okay, precision, that yes, this is happening. This is my pen, okay. But again, it is historic, okay. It's very historic. It's very old Turkish. In today's Turkish, in modern Turkish, saying only this is enough, okay. Bu bir kalem, or you can say bu bir ev. This is a house. So you don't necessarily have to extend and say this dır. Okay, use this dır at the end. Bu bir kalemdir is a very long use. We don't use it. We don't kind of use that structure. So what you see here is basically this mid sentences that we use. Okay, these three sentences that are more appropriate in use. So look at the second sentence. Hava çok soğuktur. This sentence is exactly the same meaning with this sentence. Hava çok soğuk. There is no difference. Of course, if we mean precision, okay, precision and certainty, in that sense, it means basically the weather is very cold. Okay. The third example is bu kalem benimdir. Benim means mine or my. Okay, my. But in our last classes, one of the last classes, we already denoted that in this context it means mine. So bu kalem benimdir has the same meaning with bu kalem benim. Okay, this pen is mine. So you see, you can omit this dır quite normally and nothing will change in terms of meaning. And the last example, Ali gençtir, which means Ali is young. And here, using this tir is just unnecessary. It's just repetition of what we already know. Okay, so we don't add this tir at the end and we just say Ali genç. Or you can say Ali is very young, Ali çok genç. Okay, you don't have to say Ali çok gençtir. That is needless repetition. That is redundancy. So the first meaning, the first use of this dır dir durdur is to denote precision or certainty about what is happening or what is kind of in terms of verb to be. Okay, verb to be, what it is. And again, you can omit, and it is usually omitted in daily Turkish language, modern Turkish language. We don't add this to many contexts. I mean, to many words. In this case specifically, we just omit it. Okay, we just delete it. The second purpose of using this dır dir durdur, tır tir tur tür, is to denote probability. Okay, probability, some kind of possibility of something that is happening. Okay, which can be added to verbs in all persons. It doesn't matter. You can add to any persons. But if you really use this with this kind of a meaning, you cannot omit that dır dir durdur. Okay, you can omit only in the first use here, when you use precision or certainty. But in this case, probability, if you really want to mean probability, you definitely have to use that dır dir durdur at the end, and people will understand it. Okay, so let me just give you examples. We have 5 examples here. Merhaba Vija. So we have 5 examples here. The first one is beni görmüştür, which means somebody, right? He, she probably have seen me, or most probably. Okay, so this has the meaning of probably or most probably. Therefore, I put that in parentheses, just not to translate it kind of directly in anything, to anything. So basically, beni görmüştür. Okay, this tür, right, is added to the mışlı geçmiş zaman, the past tense, reported past tense verb, third person singular. He, she have seen, yes, but this tür makes it probably have seen. Okay, he should probably have seen me. Okay, beni here is, of course, is the accusative case of ben, right? Beni, ben, beni, accusative case of ben. Me. Second example, look at the second example. Haberi duymuşsunuzdur. Again, haberi is the accusative case, right? The news, special news, specific news. We specify it, and it's the direct object. So haberi duymuşsunuzdur. You have probably heard the news. Okay, duymuş, duymak is the to hear, right? Duymuş is the reported past tense. Duymuşsunuz is the you formal, right? Or plural or formal you. Duymuşsunuz, duymuşsunuzdur. You have probably heard the news, right? You plural or you formally. You have probably heard the news. Haberi duymuşsunuzdur. Or olayları duymuşsunuzdur. You probably have heard about the events, right? All right. The third example here, açsındır. Okay, açsındır. Aç means hungry. Açsın means you are, right? Second person singular. And dır makes it probability. Sen büyük ihtimalle açsındır. You are probably, most probably hungry, right? Açsındır. You are probably hungry. Very simple. Nothing else. You see how this dır makes it kind of a longer sentence, right? That kind of meaning of probability. You are probably hungry. Açsındır. Let's look at the fourth sentence. O şimdi uyuyordur. O şimdi uyuyor. And by the way, just before we continue with the fourth sentence, look at this. This is the aç is adjective here, right? You see it's not a verb. Aç means it's adjective and it's a verb to be. Açsındır. You are hungry. It's a verb to be for that ending that is added to the adjective. Açsın, you are hungry. Açsındır, you are probably hungry. Okay. The fourth example, o şimdi uyuyordur. Right? Uyuyor is sleeping. He, she is sleeping. Uyuyordur, he, she is probably sleeping now. Okay, şimdi means now. So o uyuyordur. Or you can even omit this o, right? Şimdi uyuyordur. He, she is probably sleeping now. So let's not bother that person. Let's not bother him or her. And the last example, evde değildir. Here we have omitted o, right? The meaning. So evde değildir. He, she is not at home, probably. So evde is the locative case, right? We have this the ending, which means at, in. Therefore, just we have even translation of that. So at, in, evde değildir. At home, not means değil, right? Değil, the negative case, negative kind of form of the verb to be. He, she is probably not at home. Okay. Now, look at because this meanings, I mean this ending, right? This second meaning, because this second meaning already has probability. You can also mean these things, right? Or by these four things, also probability, right? So, for example, look at this sentence. Of course, this means precision and certainty, but it can also be used as a probability, right? For example, let's assume you found something, right, but you don't know what it is, and somebody tells you bu bir kalemdir, which means probably what? This is probably a pen, okay? So if you want to mean that, that will mean that, okay? Depending on the context, people will understand that you mean here that this dır will be probability, okay? So if you know it is a pen and you show it to somebody and everyone knows it's a pen, then it's precision. You don't have to mean, here nobody will understand you as probability anyway. But if you found something but you don't know what it is, and you're asking, let's say, your friend what it is, right? Your friend can tell you, bu bir kalemdir. I don't know, but most probably it's a pen, okay? So in that case, yes, then you have to add this kind of that meaning from the context will be, by default, will be there, okay? So that meaning will by default will be there. The same for the second, for example. Let's assume you don't know how is the weather, right? You have not looked at the weather forecast. You have not looked out of the window. So you are sitting in your couch and you are telling your mom, hava çok soğuktur, right? If you don't know, I don't know, but most probably it's cold, right? Hava çok soğuktur. So if you really want to mean that, from the context, people will understand that you're talking about probability. It's not about certainty or precision, but about probability, okay? Or for example, look at the third sentence. Bu kalem benimdir. If you are not sure whether the pen is yours or not, but you are probably thinking it is, okay, then you can say bu kalem benimdir. Bilmiyorum kimin, ama benimdir. Probably mine, okay? Bu kalem kimin? Somebody can ask, whose pen is this? You can say benimdir, which means I'm not sure, but most probably mine, okay? Or, for example, Ali gençtir. You don't know Ali, who is Ali, but maybe from his look, you can say Ali gençtir, which means he's probably young, okay? So unless you mean probability, which is understood from the context, people will understand whether you know it with precision or not, then we just can omit this, okay, these endings. But again, if you talk about probability, by default, it cannot be omitted, okay? In all these cases, probability cases, you cannot omit it, okay? It should be there because that is exactly what is understood as probability from the context, and people will note from the context that you are talking about probability, okay? Now, in modern Turkish, again, we don't use this, okay? For the first case, for the precision purposes, we don't use this dır, dir, dur, dır, which means what? most probably if people use this dır, dir, dur, dur, they're using it for probability purposes. Okay, so almost 80%, 90%, if people use this dır, dir, dur, dur, it is probably because they want to mean probability. Okay, because in the first case, this first is very old Turkish. Okay, it's not very much used today, so therefore we omit this dır, dir, dur to mean precision or certainty. But if we really want to know probability and denote probability, we definitely use them, and we cannot omit it. Okay. There was a question by Fabiola. Merhaba Fabiola. What about kuzenlerimdir in this sentence? Mehmet eniştemin bir mağazası var. Onların çocukları Zeynep ve Eren benim kuzenlerimdir. This is certainty. Okay. This is certainty, Fabiola, because why? Because you already know, right? Enişte means that it is the husband of your, for example, aunt, right? Or your, for example, your sister, right? For example, whatever. Your aunt, right? Enişte means the husband of your aunt. It might be from the father's side or the mother's side. So because you already know that they are your cousins, it's not probability, right? Therefore, in this case, it will mean definitely certainty, not probability, but certainty, precision. Okay, because that will be meaningless to say that my cousins, they are probably my cousins, right? That is meaningless. I mean, even when you translate it in the English, it will be very meaningless. That you point to somebody saying that they are probably my cousins. Therefore, in this case specifically, it will be what? It will be the first case, the first scenario. Okay, the first scenario, which is what? Precision or certainty. Okay, you talk about they are being your cousins with precision and certainty. Okay, but other than that, if from the writing, you should be able to differentiate precision from the probability. Okay, because it is all about the meaning. Are you talking about the probability, something to be probable or not? And that's how you understand whether that dır can be kept there or can be omitted. But again, in modern Turkish, if you want to mean precision, certainty, it is usually omitted. Okay, it is usually omitted. We don't need it. Okay, it is needless. It's redundancy. But if you want to mean probability, it is always there. Okay. So basically that's it. That's it about this uses. Okay, these two. So this kind of dır, dir, dur, dur. Okay. That's why we're using it. That's basically two purposes. And if you have any questions, just let me know very shortly. I will answer and then finish the video. If not, I'm done for today. It's a short video. I mean short for me, of course. I don't know whether it's long for you. Usually for watchers it is a very long video, but for me, I don't know how the time passes. It's very quick for me. So we have covered already 18 minutes, but 18 minutes is very huge time for YouTube viewers. All right, I assume there are no questions. Let me just wait for one more second, a couple of seconds. No, nothing. All right, if no other questions, I hope to see you in the next classes. See you later. Herkese iyi akşamlar. Görüşmek üzere arkadaşlar. Bye bye.